What's good, YouTube? I wanted to make another quick video and give out a full credit report breakdown on my own credit report on how I got an 800 credit score, right? Now, usually it do be like in the 790, 795. It also be in the 800s. Sometimes it goes back to 795. But for the most part, we're technically in the 800s, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and show my name on here so y'all don't think I'm lying about it not being my own credit report. But y'all gonna go ahead and see it here. That's my name. And we're also, today's August 26th. So y'all could see that I pulled my own credit report today, the same day. So let's go ahead and get right to it. I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all all the accounts that I have on my own credit report so y'all can see how I got to the 800 credit score, right? So the very first thing that I want to talk about would be payment history, right? That would make up about 35% of y'all's own credit score. So let me go ahead and put this on this side. Here's a quick chart. So the first thing I want to talk about is 35% of your credit score is is by making 100% on-time payments, and that's what payment history is about, right? So whenever you pull your own credit report, and well, in this case is my own credit report, this is this is the last 2 year payment history. And another thing you can look at is the payment status. As long as it says current, that means that I have no late payments, right? So this is a Chase credit card. I got just no late payments, right? Everything's green, right? We got a City credit card. Everything is green, right? It's current, so we have no late payments. Then we got an Amex. You go to payment status, it's current. And as y'all can see, this one is not 2 years because I actually got approved for this one back in February. This is one of my last credit cards that I applied with. Man, y'all see that credit limit, 12,500. Like I said, I've been making payments ever since February, so I'm in good standing with that one. This is another Chase credit card. Y'all see it, Discover credit card. I have up to like I think 5 personal credit cards. And then we got a Toyota Motors. This is my auto loan, right? We'll get to that in a bit. And then we got a Credit Union of Texas installment loan, and that's about it, right? So that's the very first thing I want to talk about would be the payment history, right? Now the second thing I want to talk about is 30% of amount owed, which means your credit utilization, right? So on here, I mean, y'all see the credit limit with the balance owed. This is just a quick example. This is one of my Chase credit cards. I got a credit limit of $10,000, 10,700 on this one, and I got a balance owed of $31. Meaning I only owe $31 off of this $10,700 credit limit, right? Meaning I don't owe anything, and pretty much. So what this is here if this is a credit analysis. I give this to all of my active clients. Y'all get a copy of this in your email once you become an active client. You know, it tells you pretty much like a real world auto loan example. Meaning, if you have a low score, if you're in the low 500s and the price of the car is 28,500, you will be gaining a huge interest. This is how much you will be paying a month, and that's how much you will be paying in interest financed at 60 months, right? And if you got a good credit score, you'll have a low interest. This is what your monthly payment will be looking like, and this is how much interest you will be paying on a 60-month term. So as y'all can see, y'all definitely want to have y'all credit score over the 700s, right? The national average is 680, but if y'all look at the difference between the loan interest on a 680 credit score and a over 700 credit score, y'all definitely want to get in the 700 club or more, right? So, and then they also give you a home loan example. Like I said, if you're one of my clients, definitely going to get one of these copies of a credit analysis, right? But pretty much what I want to talk about is my own credit utilization, my own credit report today, right? So this is really important. I tell all my clients about this. this is what makes up. This is one way to go ahead and get your credit score up is by minimizing your credit utilization. So as y'all can see here, I have an average of $49,966 in credit limit, but realistically, it's really 51,900. You know, as y'all can see, Experian and TransUnion, that's what is showing up on here. But Equifax, for some reason, it says 46,100. I'm not sure why is that's showing. Like I said, sometimes credit reports is not fully updated. So you know, I mean, but technically it's 51,000, right? So out of that 51,000 credit limit I got, my average balance right now, technically on as of today, I owe 970 on my credit card limit, which I have a 2% credit utilization, right? Meaning that it's below 10%, so I can have the best credit score possible, right? And realistically, y'all, it's honestly at 0%, because as I tell y'all, like, y'all definitely want to pay y'all's credit cards in full each month, especially if you don't have a 0% APR on your credit card. This is something I teach, you know, all my clients, and especially on my credit on my credit Instagram page. But technically, it's 0%, but although 2% is, you know, close to zero, so I mean that's what makes up my 800 credit score. Now a lot of my clientele, I'm not gonna lie, most of y'all got y'all's credit cards maxed out. Y'all, I didn't see 90, I didn't see 95%, I didn't see 99%. Y'all definitely want to keep that down, because that is what makes up 30% of your credit score. So if you're looking to get your credit score up in the 700s, 800s, y'all definitely want to at least get to 30% to have a good credit score, right? And if you want to have the best credit score, get under 10% to have an excellent credit score, right? Now, that's the second thing I want to talk about. Now, another thing that I do want to talk about would be 10% new credit, 50% length of credit history, and 10% of credit mixture. 10% of credit mixture means, as y'all can see, I have 5 different personal credit cards on my credit report, and I have one auto loan on here, right? This makes up a good chunk of my credit report, because this means that ever since I got my car back in 2021, I've been making consistent payments, right? I've never made a late payment, you know, and this just shows financial responsibility, meaning that this is what makes up a good chunk of my credit score, right? And another thing I want to go ahead and show y'all is this Credit Union of Texas installment loan, right? Because all I had on my credit report was 5 credit cards and one auto loan. So I was like, yo, I have no personal loans. I have no installment loans. Like, I don't have self. I don't have what else is there? Self. I think another one called like Credit Boost or something like that. But I don't have those on my credit report. So what I went ahead and did is, you know, I got put on by Smitty the Goat, right? Which is another credit repair specialist, but he's like on another level now, right? So pretty much what this is what's called a pledge loan, or AKA is a secured loan, meaning that I went to Credit Union of Texas, I opened up a an account with them, a savings account, and I deposited $1,000, right? I went ahead and deposited that $1,000, and then I told Credit Union of Texas, hey, do you guys offer pledge loans? They said yes. I was like, okay, cool. Can I go ahead and borrow $1,000 off of, and y'all could take, you know, technically correct collateral of my savings account off of that $1,000? They said yes. So whenever you do that, you get a low interest rate instead of getting a high interest rate on an unsecured personal loan, right? So what I did is I got a secure personal loan, and my credit off of $1,000, I think my interest payment was like $40. And honestly, I went ahead and made that payment in like 2 months. So I didn't even end up paying. I literally paid like $2 in interest, because I ended up paying it in 2 months, right? But what the purpose of this is that I got this whole installment loan reported on my credit report, right? meaning, you know, it's gonna give me a 10% of credit measure because I never had an installment loan, right? So honestly, I recommend everybody to get this. If you don't know how to do it, you could just go ahead and DM me on Instagram. You know, I could give you a little bit more game on that. You know, at Credit with Ace, and you know, this helps you boost your credit score a little bit, right? Now, another thing would be credit age. As y'all can see on my Discover credit card, this was my first ever credit card, and as y'all can see, date open, it was back in 2018. So I've been having this credit card open for about 7 years. You know, like, what's this right here? It got disputed. I didn't even see that. Um, what was I saying? 7 years. This has been open for 7 years, so I want to keep this credit card open, right? I do not want to have this credit card closed. If I close this credit card, this would bring down my credit score, y'all. So I want to keep this open, even if you just buy a little something. Just go ahead and buy something, right? And just keep it open, right? It's really not that hard to leave a credit card open. I just gotta use it as long as you don't take over 3 or 4 months of not using it. Because after 3 or 4 months of you not using it, they're gonna go ahead and shut that credit card down, right? And then another thing would be the hard inquiries, right? It would be at the very bottom of your credit report. As y'all can see, I only have one credit card inquiry, one with American Express. The date of the inquiry was this year, January 22, 2025, and they only got pulled with TransUnion. The reason I got this inquiry because, like I said earlier, I had applied for my last credit card, which was this year, which was my Amex credit card, and I got it, and I got approved in January, and my first payment was in February. So that's why the payments start off in February 2025, and as y'all can see, I've been making all my payments on time, right? So it only got pulled with TransUnion. Sometimes if a lender or a furnisher pulls your credit report with all three of the credit bureaus, it'll say TransUnion, then it'll say Equifax, then it'll say Experian, right? But in this case, it only got pulled with TransUnion. So I want to put y'all on some quick game. Y'all see how Experian has 795 and Equifax has 795, but then TransUnion is 5 points less. This is because of the hard inquiry, right? So one hard inquiry affects your credit score anywhere from 5 to 10 points. So as y'all can see, it affected my TransUnion credit report 5 points, right? If I didn't apply for this credit card this year, then it would be at 795, and that will make up all of them would be at 795, right? Um, Boy, I mean, I needed this credit card, so I definitely, you know, what's the point of having a high credit score if you're not gonna use it, you know? So that's another thing. Now, another thing, some quick game for all my people that want to do business funding and everything. I actually got my LLC for my business, my credit repair business about 3 months ago. So as y'all can see, this is American Express for my personal credit card. I think it was called the Blue Cash credit card back in January. And like I said, on my LLC, I believe I got it like at the end of May. So the first business credit card was the Amex Business Blue Cash credit card, something like that. You know, I got approved for 10,000. And yeah, as everybody knows that whenever you apply, since it's a new business, you don't have no business credit, so they pull your personal business credit. I mean your personal credit. And as y'all can see, I didn't receive a second hard inquiry, so technically I double dipped. And as y'all can see, I didn't get a second hard inquiry, and technically I double dipped with one hard inquiry on here, so it didn't affect my credit score for that, right? Other than that though, that's pretty much what I just wanted to base this video on. I didn't want to make this video too long like the last one, but if y'all got any questions, if y'all need help disputing negative items off of your credit report, I'm gonna go ahead and leave the link in the description so y'all could book a free credit consultation call with me. And if y'all want to go ahead and check your own credit score with my free score down, I'm gonna leave my affiliate link down below as well. It's only gonna cost you $1 for a 7-day trial, and it's gonna pull your full credit report just like it did for mine. for all three credit reports: TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. And if y'all got any questions, make sure to drop a comment. Make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe, and make sure to follow me on Instagram at Credit with Ace. Alrighty, let's get it.